So in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to use OpenSSH or SSH in Linux and actually Windows as well, because both of these commands, any command that I'm going to show you in this video, also works on Windows. So just before I quickly start, let me quickly break down what is SSH just in case you don't know. So SSH allows you to remotely control any system, doesn't matter if it's inside your network or outside of your network, allows to remotely control any system as long as you have either the basically valid key or valid authentication, login and password. Right, so I'm going to show you how to basically install OpenSSH. So if you type in sudo apt install OpenSSH client. Make sure that if it asks you, just basically press yes, and as you can see, it's installed. Now to verify if OpenSSH or SSH is actually installed, all you have to do is just type in SSH, and if it basically show you usage, for example, like all of these options, that means you have successfully installed SSH and now you are free to use it. Now, as I have said, you need to have SSH installed on both systems. So the one you're trying to log in and the one trying to basically log in from, right? So make sure that it's installed on both systems. It doesn't matter if it's Windows or Linux, it will work on both, and I'm pretty sure Mac OS would work as well. So basically, to make sure that the SSH is running, you need to run two commands. It will actually start by default, but if for some reason, or if you misconfigure something, I'll show you how to turn SSH on. So to make sure that SSH is running on every single reboot or every single time you start your computer or your host, you need to type in sudo systemctl enable ssh.service. This will make sure that every single time you start your computer or your host, it will make sure that SSH is running and with the boot. Now, if you run sudo systemctl enable, it only basically starts it from reboot. But if you want to start it now, you need to run the service, right? So if you type in sudo service ssh start, and obviously if you replace start with like stop, restart, it will obviously restart or basically stop the service, right? It matters which obviously function or command you run. Now, as soon as you run both of these commands, everything should be working absolutely fine. Now, as soon as you run these services, you can actually log in, right? I'm going to show you how to log in now, but there is two things you need to know. You need to know your basically credentials, so your login and password, and you need to know your IP address. Now, to get the IP address, this will be different for everyone. If you're doing this on your actual machine and you have direct access to it and you can run commands on the system, if you type ifconfig, it should give you an IP address. However, if you're doing this on a VPS, you will have to look for the IP address that allows you to log in. It should say something like public IP address or private IP address. It matters what you're trying to authenticate to or from. So as soon as you get your IP address, you also should get something called credentials, right? So your login and password. As soon as you obtain both of these things, you are free to go, and I'm going to show you how to log in now. So if you type in SSH, which is basically, for me it's Griffin, for you it might be different, root, whatever it is, you need to use that. So for me it's Griffin, and the IP address, so for me is the IP address I told you. And now I will ask you for a password. So type in the password. Now, as you can see, I've typed in my password, but nothing popped up. That is a standard Linux feature, and basically it matters which system that you're using, but it is absolutely normal that the password doesn't show up. Just keep typing, make sure that the password is correct, and once you press enter, as you can see, it basically logs you in. Now, important here is that it says, when was your last login? This is important because if you might have had an intrusion, right, it actually tells you. So it tells you when was the last login, the time, and it tells you the IP address. So if you don't recognize this IP address, right, if you don't use any VPNs and you don't recognize this IP address, that might mean that you've had intrusion. So it is important that you do obviously keep a track of this, right? Now, once you actually log in or authenticate, that is you done. You can do whatever you want. You can run commands, you can type in ls, you can upload files, you can do whatever you want. Basically, it is up to you now what you do. Now, I'm quickly going to show you how to transfer files with SFTP, which is a part of SSH. So if you actually type in SFTP, and just like you would normally use SSH, right, and put the password in, right, as you can see, the terminal is a bit different, right, because it is like FTP, but it's more secure. So now what we can do is we can actually upload or download the files. So I'm going to upload the file to the server. So if I basically type in put, and the file name for me is just going to be file.txt. And as you can see, it says uploading file.txt to home-griffin.file.txt, /file.txt. Now, it is important that you do remember the file path, because obviously you might want to know where the file is. So the file is basically in the home directory, right? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you that the file is actually on the system. Now, if I just come to the other system, as you can see, the file is right here. Now, if you actually wanted to download the file, all you have to do is just look for the file. You can type in ls to actually see all the files in the current directory. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to download password.out. So I'm just going to type in get password.out. You can press tab to autofill. And as you can see, I've basically downloaded the files. And as you can see, the file is on my desktop, right? Now, one important note here is that what the current directory that you are in, that is the current directory that basically you're running commands on, right? So I was on desktop, so I downloaded the file to desktop. So if you are, for example, in some other directory, that is where the directory you are will be in, and that is where you run commands from, right? So you obviously, if you want to access other files, you will have to go to another directory or specify the directory that you want to download or upload a file to, right? Or from, right? So that'll be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed and have learned how to use SSH. If you want to see other content, especially regarding cybersecurity or IT, please check out my channel. There's plenty of content for you. And thank you for watching. Peace.